We're talking with Greg Larson, town manager of Los Gatos, California, about how he's projecting his leadership in this fiscal times in California that are so difficult. So Greg, what are some of the things that you're finding are important to do as a leader in this environment, and how has that changed maybe over the past years just because of the challenges that we're facing today?
You know, the magnitude of this economic crisis, the deep recession as it's now being called, far surpasses anything we've faced before. And it requires that we as municipal leaders and managers approach issues in a different way that's equally profound. We can no longer approach budgeting as a technical challenge or a technical problem. We have to recognize that there's adaptive challenges and changes required that really go to the core of who we are as a local government, what it is we do for our community and how we do it. That leads to many issues of dealing directly with the entitlement mentality of not only our employees in terms of their pay and benefits, but also in terms of our community, of being able to do every good idea when the resources aren't there. It also means dealing with head-on the definition of who we are as an organization in terms of what services we provide. What's no longer critical, what can just as well be done by others. I hearken back to the book that Ted Gabler wrote, Reinventing Government, and one of the best chapters there was to steer, not row. And I think that's increasingly the future of local government. How do we steer the issues that our community and councils care about without thinking we have to do the work ourselves? That's the strategic way to view the question of outsourcing. If you approach outsourcing as just as a technical issue, you never get to the broader values involved. So there's lots we can do as municipal leaders to elevate the discussion about budgeting and what the future of local government is.
What have you found to be some of the successes that you've had in making this transition, and also maybe some of the challenges in getting there? I mean, this is a mind shift for everybody that you're talking about, and where have you hit resistance and where have you had success?
You know, it's a continuing process. Adaptive change is never a quick 1 month issue. It's something you deal with over time. A couple particular successes that might be good models for other communities would be one, our whole program of vacancy management. Whenever we get a vacancy, we stockpile them till we have a good set of 3 to 6, so we're able to realign our work, redistribute our work, reorganize our work, and eliminate some work to meet our core services and to continue to provide the quality our community expects. That doesn't mean that whenever a vacancy comes up, we just freeze it. We allow the supervisor or department head to continue to do their work, but not with a full-time permanent employee. They can outsource the work, use temporaries, use overtime, use consultants to meet the service demands that year. But the real goal is after every 6 or 9 months to have a pool of vacancies that create reorganization opportunities for our community. A second success story we've had is with just our revenues and reserves policy. We're blessed with Netflix as our largest taxpayer. The headquarters of Netflix is in our community, and they're our largest taxpayer for the sales tax for all their memberships in California. But we would be in a fiscally difficult situation if we spent all of that revenue every year. Instead, my predecessors in the council adopted a very wise policy of setting aside any Netflix revenue beyond 5% of our operating budget and put that into both economic reserves and capital reserves. That has 2 effects for us. One, it is growing our reserves, which we will start using once we see a light at the end of this deep recession. We'll use the reserves to bridge our way out. Second, it ensures that if and when Netflix ever goes away or is purchased, that we only have a 5% hit to our operating budget instead of the 10% hit it would otherwise be.
Great, so it sounds like some creative approaches you're taking to really make a difference in these difficult times.
We're trying. It's not easy. It's not easy for any local government. You know, over the last 10 years, we've reduced our workforce by about 25%. Half of that in the last 2 years alone, all through attrition in the last 2 years. And we are having to redefine what services we provide and how we provide them, but the community and the council have been supportive of our efforts to date.